So Don Lemon was supposed to have a show on X, and he sat down and had an interview with Elon Musk.
Oh, let me guess, Jimmy, you're going to defend your hero, Elon Musk, right now, when he suppressed the free speech of Don Lemon, who, after you hear him talk, his name should be Don Potato. Trust me on that.
So here's what Glenn Greenwald said. Permit me to show you how dumb Don Lemon is and CNN are, but also the core liberal idiocy on free speech. Lemon accuses Musk of not supporting free speech because Musk won't pay him millions for his show. 60 seconds later, Don Lemon demands Elon Musk censor more political speech on S. You think... just to push back on Glenn a little, I'm sure Don Lemon is dumb, but not as dumb as Elon trying to give Don Lemon a show on Twitter.
I mean, millions of dollars, that's not a bright... That's autism. You got it. You can only attribute to that, where he thought Don Lemon might be good. But I hear it's a Linda Yaccarino holdover. Linda Yaccarino was the one promoting we're going to get Don Lemon on X, and she's gone now. Remember?
Oh, really?
We were calling her Yaccarino, that gross chick he had. That.
Oh, yeah.
And he did the right thing, Elon, and got rid of her. Okay. I think that's one of her projects, I'll bet you.
Okay, here we go.
And it was tense at moments, but you've been involved in tense interviews. Yep. I said to him, I think it's good that people see folks like you and I who have different worldviews come together and talk, as he says, have free speech. Free speech is only important when someone you don't like, or I would say someone who doesn't have your same point of view, or someone is, if they're allowed to speak freely and to say their point of view. Apparently that doesn't matter to Elon Musk. It's just for maybe talking points for him or rhetoric, because it doesn't seem to matter when it's about him, questions about him from people like me.
All right. So when you said that, I wanted to play.
So
people like me, imbeciles.
So when he says it was tense, with Don, his interview was tense at times.
At times it got tense.
Let me ask you, Don, was it as tense as being a woman working with you on that terrible morning show?
No, not nearly as tense.
And I would point out the flaws in Don's argument.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have an argument.
No.
So here's what they're referring to when he was talking to Elon Musk.
Some of the clips, because some of them are illuminating. These are clips that you shared with us. This is a part of the conversation with Musk where you ask him about hate speech. Here it is.
Hate speech on the platform is up. Do you believe that X and...
Okay, first of all, no, it isn't.
Yeah.
You know why they say hate speech is up? Is because there's a bunch of organizations that hate Elon Musk and free speech that want to pretend it is. What would that be? That'd be the Anti-Defamation League, which now counts
as the
criticism of Zionism as anti-Semitism.
Right. SLP.
And those are not the same thing. So when they say that hate speech is up, they're completely making up new metrics for what hate speech is. And criticizing Zionism is not hate speech. Zionism is Nazism. Zionism is evil. And that has nothing to do with Judaism, because the most devout Jews that I know, which are the Hasidic Jews, don't want anything to do with Zionism. And in fact, they say it's heretical. The state of Israel is heretical to the Hasidic Jews, just so you know. So the idea that hate speech is up is just a talking point that Don Lemon heard, and then he repeats, and then it's taken as fact by the shit-lib corporate media that hates free speech and hates that they can't control the narrative. So just want to let you know he's wrong about that.
Jimmy, Southern Poverty Law Center also was saying that before. The ADL started kicking things up a notch recently, but don't forget the Southern Poverty Law Center, the founders of which had to leave the organization for sexually harassing and not promoting black women. That's the Southern Poverty Law Center. Yeah, it's purely those two.
And the Southern Poverty Law Center also had to apologize for slandering, correct me if I'm wrong on this, Max Blumenthal and the Gray Zone. So the Southern Poverty...
Quite a few people.
Quite a few people. So the Southern Poverty Law Center has got a lot of black eyes lately, put it that way.
Well, not that it matters, because he doesn't know anything. He said in the beginning, oh, well, I believe if people speak... You're supposed to, when you make that stupid argument about... I thought when you want to slander someone, you go, well, I thought you liked free speech. You're supposed to... The argument is, it's good to censor. This moron doesn't know that. Like, normally a shit lib would go, see, there should be some mediation of speech because you don't like it. He's so stupid, he's actually repeating Elon Musk's argument of if I don't agree with you, then you still should speak. And then talking about hate speech.
And then he immediately says, we have to censor.
Hate speech on the platform is up. Do you believe that X and you have some responsibility to moderate hate speech on the platform? That you wouldn't have to answer these questions from reporters about the Great Replacement Theory as it relates to Democrats? I don't have to answer these questions. The Great Replacement Theory as it relates to Jewish people?
First of all, the Great Replacement Theory and Jews, even the dumbest liberal on CNN doesn't try to link that to the Jews.
What is he talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe Israel's worried about being replaced if the Palestinians aren't killed? Maybe that's what it is.
Did the people in Charleston chant, "You will not replace us," about the Jews?
The Jews will not replace us. Oh, maybe that's what he's talking about. Because they don't even bring that up now with Great Replacement Theory. I've never heard it as a Jew thing at all. I heard it as you hate black and brown people mass immigrating here because you're afraid it'll... Whatever nonsense.
Hey, by the way, when Israel is endeavoring to destroy your good reputation, is that called a schmear campaign?
Yes,
Come on.
Yeah.
Are you with me? Come on.
We established that a while ago.
Here we go.
I think that
I don't have to answer questions from reporters. Don, the only reason I'm doing this interview is because you're on the X platform and you asked for it. Otherwise, I would not do this interview.
So you don't think? Do you think that you wouldn't get in trouble or you wouldn't be criticized for these things?
I'm criticized constantly. I could care less.
Illuminating in so many ways. All right, I have two things I want to ask.
That was illuminating in so many ways. It was illuminating that Don Lemon doesn't believe in free speech and is the dumbest guy maybe ever on TV that did a news show. Close second is Chris Cuomo.
I got to say, Chris Cuomo's a genius now.
Compared to this guy?
Chris Cuomo is a salvageable genius compared to this. Oh, is this free speech?
So, I mean, let's remember how he starts off this clip.
And it was tense at moments, but you've been involved in tense interviews. Yep. I said to him, I think it's good that people see folks like you and I who have different worldviews come together and talk, as he says, have free speech.
So Don Lemon says it's good to have free speech. And the clip they throw to is Don Lemon saying, why are you giving people free speech?
Hate speech is up.
Hate speech is up. Don't you want to censor that?
It's not. By the way, it's not.
And it's not up. It's
also hate speech, for the record, is a vague, stupid term that can mean literally anything.
Anything I don't like is hate speech.
Yeah,
just
so
like anything the ADL doesn't like is anti-Semitism. They don't like criticism of Israel. It's anti-Semitism. Wow. Okay. So here's what in reflecting on his interview and deal breakup with Musk, Lemon suggested that it is possible, quote, we're learning that a public square of the internet, such as X, should not be privately owned by someone who would not moderate speech on such a large platform. So Don Lemon does not believe in free speech. He wants speech to be censored and moderated by who? By billionaires. He wants a billionaire that he likes to own a social media platform like Twitter, and then he decide unilaterally what to ban and what to censor based on Don Lemon's feelings. You understand why you can't have limits on free speech? Because the people that get censored are the people that the establishment wants censored, and those are the voices that need the protection of free speech. Nobody needs protection for speech that the establishment agrees with. People need protection for speech that the establishment hates and wants to censor. That's why you need free speech laws. That's the whole idea of protection of free speech. Again, I'll say it one more time. Speech that the establishment approves of doesn't need protecting. The speech that needs protecting is the speech that Don Lemon hates, disgusts him, and that the establishment also hates and wants to censor. That's the speech that needs protecting, not the speech that Don Lemon does or Chris Cuomo does or Rachel Maddow or Anderson Cooper or Sean Hannity. The speech that needs protecting is the speech that people who are criticizing the establishment, dissidents, people like on this show, people like Dr. Robert Malone,
conspiracy theorists,
people who are going to be on this show in a half hour, Dr. Robert Malone, people like Joe Rogan, doctors like Peter McCullough. Those are the How about scientists? How about journalists like Julian Assange? Like people. So those are the people who need protecting of their speech, not people like Don Lemon, not people like Chris Cuomo or Anderson Cooper. The people who need
Wait, Jimmy, it's not the people themselves. It's
the
these
speech.
People think they think libel and slander. This is like the dumb arguments over the years.
There's already laws.
Yeah, we already have laws about slander.
There's already
libel,
laws. If you criminally libel,
real threats, you're not allowed to make. We already have a laws.
We already
this.
have. So
Yeah.
all the things so you can sue someone for slander and libel. There's already laws about that. I don't need a Silicon billionaire to come in and enforce the law. There's already the Justice Department, there's attorney generals, there's local county sheriffs, there's police departments, there's all kinds of law enforcement agencies. There's the FCC. I don't need a billionaire in secret, at his whim in Silicon Valley, deciding who can speak and who can't. We already have law enforcement agencies. We already have a constitution. We already have laws on the books against libel and slander and threats of violence. We already have all that. So this is just, I want to censor speech that it makes me feel icky. That's what that is. And they love it.
Oh, so you love
and all
Elon
the people
Musk.
and almost all the people I know in Hollywood now, almost all the comedians are for censorship because they're shitty, dumb comedians who are misinformed and purposely uninformed. They're the same people who would tell you, don't get informed, meaning don't do your own research. When someone tells you to don't do your own research, that means let the person in authority do your thinking for you. If you say, I'm going to watch the TV and whatever the guy in the TV tells me to do about COVID, that's what I'll do. That's you being a fucking moron and telling people that I'm going to let someone who's being paid by Big Pharma to do my thinking for me. That's what this is all about. And you have to, so the price of liberty is eternal vigilance. And that's why you have to fight this always. So there's always going to be people who want to censor. They wanted to censor rock and roll lyrics in the 80s. Who was that? Tipper Gore and Bill Clinton. Remember that? So that didn't come from, that came from the right, came from the left. But we all know that Al Gore and Bill Clinton aren't left. Al Gore and Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and Joe Biden are corporatists. They're authoritarian, warmongering corporatists. There's almost nothing left about them. And, okay, so...
Well, wait, all someone's going to say to you for that is like, oh, I guess you love Elon Musk or you're Billy... No, listen, I don't think Elon Musk is not a hero to me in any way. I don't give a shit about him. Whoever lets you have the most free speech is the winner of the billionaire contest.
That's right.
Fuckbag system we live in. No one made him Jesus of free speech. You guys are doing it. People that are like, well, why don't you let Don Lemon make up lies and say them on a thing and still pay him? He can still go on X.
So let me get this straight. I mean, let me get this cisnormative. Don Lemon had an awkward interview with Elon Musk about his positions on Palestine and free speech. And so now he's headed to where he'll be safe. He's going to go to, well, hang on, let me do this. Musk gave his own take on why he ended the deal. Mm-hmm. Writing on social media that Lemon's approach to his show was just CNN, but on social media, which it is, which doesn't work. He also claimed Lemon lacked authenticity, describing him as just Jeff Zucker talking through Don instead of being the real Don Lemon.
There is no real Don Lemon, Elon. That's where you're being autistic. There wasn't a better guy that was just, possibly Chris Cuomo there was, not Don Lemon. Don Lemon, you could see, without the teleprompter, with mid-wit things to say, he just jumbles them all up into an incoherent
when he's
argument.
left to talk by himself, he's constantly sticking his dick in his mouth.
I mean, cupping his hand with ball smell in a straight bartender's face, that's probably free speech.
So here is Don Lemon. He released this video, ironically on Twitter, where he says he's being banned. Here we go.
Hi, everyone. Elon Musk is mad at me. And I just put out a statement about what happened between him, me, and the interview that he is apparently so upset about. But make no mistake about this. This is going to be my first episode of
the interview he's so upset about He's going to let you post it on his social media platform.
It's the first episode of the Don Lemon Show.
The first episode of the Don Lemon Show, and Elon Musk is so mad about it, he's going to let you post it on his social media platform. Okay.
Hi, everyone. Elon Musk is mad at me. And I just put out a statement about what happened between him, me, and the interview that he is apparently so upset about. But make no mistake about this. This is going to be my first episode of the Don Lemon Show this coming Monday, March 18th. So make sure you tune in. This does not change anything about the show except for my relationship with Elon and X. And there's a whole lot that went down, and I'm going to tell you about in the coming days. I know, though, that many of you were not happy that I was doing this in the first place, and you told me so. I just want you to know that I did this deal because not only do I believe in free speech, but
you don't believe in it.
It's like Hitler saying, "I really believe I love the Jews." Yeah. It's like you can say that. It's not true.
Oh, maybe
Don Lemon doesn't believe in free speech at all.
I think because he's going to still be on X and he's doing it for free.
Yeah.
That's what he means.
Watch this.
I believed that this was the best possible chance for the work that I'm doing to reach the largest amount of people. So speaking of free speech, right? I thought the first person interview, no brainer, Elon Musk, the man who calls himself a free speech absolutist. I asked him to do it. He willingly agreed to the interview. Throughout our conversation, I kept reiterating to him that although it was tense at times, I thought it was good for people to see and hear our exchange and that they would learn from our conversation, learn more about him, learn more about me. But apparently, free speech absolutism doesn't apply when it comes to questions about him from people like me.
Of course it does, Don. The fact that he's not going to pay you to do a shit CNN show on Twitter doesn't mean he's censoring you. You're going to post the video onto X. He says at the end of this video, he goes, I'm going to post it on it. So that he doesn't even understand what free speech means.
This is Don's argument.
Free speech doesn't mean that you get paid to speak. That's paid speech. Free speech means no one gets to censor what you have to say. That's called free speech. And no one censoring, including Elon Musk, is not censoring you, Don, what you have to say. I can't believe the amount of stupidity that he is beaming at me right now. It's at warp phase, right? It should be able to, if you could put that in one of those Star Trek guns, it would stun you.
I'm going to watch, I got to say. I'm actually looking forward to it. Because if it's really Don, just his unfiltered Keith Olbermann thoughts, I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of laughs coming.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
What did we talk about? Why is he so upset? Does he even have a reason to be upset? Make sure you watch it on Monday on YouTube and everywhere you listen to podcasts.
Oh,
on YouTube. Wow. So he's gonna have it go on YouTube, you know, where the truth goes through more filters than Fiji water, for fuck's sake.
Is he not even going to put on X? That's
YouTube.
Yeah.
He's going to go on YouTube. That's like asking the band on the Titanic, hey, who books this gig while it's sinking? He's going on YouTube.
Do you think he's going to get favorable treatment from YouTube secretly?
Of course he's going to get favorable treatment. Of course he's going to. He's going to get on the corporate algorithm, just like the Hill is breaking. What is it called? Rising on the Hill with Robbie and Breed. They get the corporate algorithm,
right?
100%. Believe me, that show. I got nothing against that show, but that show wouldn't get half the views it did if it wasn't constantly being pushed through the algorithm. Because when I have my YouTube set to autoplay, right?
Yeah.
No matter what video I'm watching on YouTube, the next video comes up is 9 out of 10 times a video from Rising the Hill. And I think they
Lex Friedman.
And I don't have a beef with that show whatsoever. But you get Lex Friedman.
Again, no, I don't like a beef with him, but I'm like, it really is like, oh, you must want to hear from Lex Friedman.
No.
Because I like guests that he has on, and I've watched them on other shows. So it's like, now watch them talk to this robot.
So now he's going to be on YouTube. And I got a feeling that the guy who demonstrates the juicer at Costco is going to get a bigger crowd than Don Lemon on YouTube. The only people, maybe he'll get a couple of big numbers at first because people like Kurt and I will want to hate watch it and see just how bad it really is.
I love watching. I cannot.
But it's just like when Chris Cuomo went to YouTube. Nobody gave a shit. No one watched that show.
I'll watch it if he's being talked to by Candace Owens like a small child.
You can decide for yourself. You can even watch it on X because I'm still going to...
I told you he's going on X.
You can even watch it on X because Elon Musk isn't censoring you.
Because he's not censoring you?
Don Lemon is conflating censorship with Elon Musk being upset with your bullshit questions. That is not censorship.
Hey, Don, should have got the contract in writing.
Isn't that amazing?
Maybe you get your money.
What he's doing is he's hiding. He's pretending.
He's the bigger of the two people.
This is exactly what shit libs do. They pretend they're the victim.
Yeah.
You're not a victim. No one has to hire you or pay you to do a shitty news show or whatever you call what you do, your opinion show. That's not censorship. Nobody pays me to do this. And if they stopped paying me, they wouldn't be censoring me.
Well, also the only people who have really are harmed is women that have to work with Don Lemon on, say, a morning show, and straight male bartenders that aren't interested. That's who suffers the most in a Don Lemon free speech zone.
Posted there, and I'm sure others will as well.
So I guess we wish you luck, Don. The same kind of luck that you wish the guy who attaches wings to his Volkswagen when he drives it off a pier. Can't wait to see what happens
with all my heart
with your new show. Can't wait to see what happens with your new show.
I would love to see him and Keith Olbermann head to head hot takes. Like, oh my God, can you imagine just like who will have the better takes?
Hey, come see us do a live stand-up show. We're going to be in Stockholm, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, London, Oslo, Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, Cortland, New York, Oakmont, Pennsylvania, El Paso, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, Edmonton, Alberta, Vancouver, British Columbia, and Denver, Colorado. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets.